ជំរាបសួរនិងអរុនសុស្ដីបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាស្វាគមន៍មកកាន់ការ live ពិសេសរបស់ page Peopling Security ក៏ដូចជា YouTube channel របស់ Peopling Security ផងដែរនៅព្រឹកនេះយើងមានការ live ពិសេសអញ្ចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដូចសពដងអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងការ live របស់ពួកខ្ញុំសូមអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាជួយធ្វើការ like share comment នៅក្នុង Facebook page ក៏ដូចជា YouTube channel របស់ Peopling Security ហើយថ្ងៃនេះផងដែរនៅខាងឆ្វេងដៃរបស់ខ្ញុំគឺយើងមានគេហៅថាភ្ញៀវកិត្តិយសមួយរូបដែលគាត់មកពីហុងកុងដែលគាត់គឺជាអ្នកជំនាញនៅក្នុងទីផ្សារនេះថ្ងៃនេះផងដែរគាត់មានកិត្តិយសធ្វើការចែករំលែកក៏ដូចជានៅចំណេះដឹងក៏ដូចជាបទពិសោធន៍របស់គាត់ក៏ដូចជាការធ្វើការណែនាំអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាឲ្យកាន់តែទទួលបាននៅបទពិសោធន៍ក៏ដូចជាបច្ចេកទេសល្អៗនៅក្នុងការយកមកធ្វើការប្រតិបត្តិនៅក្នុងការជួញដូរតម្លៃទីផ្សារទៅលើទីផ្សារមាសអញ្ចឹងដើម្បីកុំឲ្យខាត់ពេលយូរយើងងាកមកដៃគូរបស់ខ្ញុំបន្តិចហើយខ្ញុំនឹងទៅចែកមួយគាត់ដើម្បីឲ្យគាត់ធ្វើការណែនាំខ្លួន Good morning
Good morning
Kima. Yes
How are you?
Yes I'm fine it's okay for me and about you
Oh, good. First and foremost, I gotta say, your country is amazing.
Wow.
I've been here like, I don't know, about 7-8 times during the span of maybe 8-9 years. Every time I come, there's so much happening. There's so much energy. There's so much vibrancy. The weather is amazing, phenomenal. I mean, I travel to so many different countries, continents. Worst place if you want to go is London because literally every time I go there, it rains, cats and dogs. But here it's like, you know, you wake up in the morning, whether it's 7, 8 in the morning, you look at the sunshine rise. Oh my God, it's just amazing. It's better than even taking a protein shake.
Wow what's amazing Cambodia
Yeah, really.
and then what amazing show that I can invite you to join my
Thank you
show.
so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. It's amazing. It's amazing economy, amazing happenings, a lot of interesting, super nice people. Thank you. Yes.
អូខេអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមុននេះបន្តិចគឺ Kima គាត់បានចែករំលែកនៅអ្វីដែលជាបទពិសោធន៍របស់គាត់ផ្ទាល់នៅក្នុងការអញ្ជើញមកដល់ប្រទេសកម្ពុជាជាច្រើនដងហើយដែលគាត់ត្រឡប់មកប្រទេសកម្ពុជាគឺគាត់តែងតែមានមើលឃើញការរីកចម្រើនរបស់ប្រទេសយើងហើយជាពិសេសអ្វីដែលគាត់កោតសរសើរពីប្រទេសយើងគឺគេហៅថាប្រទេសយើងដែលមានគេហៅថាអស្ចារ្យទាំងកត្តាសេដ្ឋកិច្ចទាំងកត្តាធម្មជាតិបាទជាពិសេសយើងមកដល់ប្រទេសយើងគឺថាបលឹមឡើងបើកភ្នែកឡើងគឺស្រស់ស្រាយតែម្ដងសម្រាប់គាត់អញ្ចឹង Kima
Yes.
Anyways I would like you to introduce about your background a little bit to our audience
Sure. So I've been in the industry for more than 3 decades. Initially started with the banks as an intern, understood how the forex markets moved. One of my best times during that time was 1995 with the dollar yen. It was just moving consistently, strengthening, literally by the every other day basis. It was so exciting that I said, wow, like this is maybe an industry I really wanted to get into. I graduated from London at LSE with economics and finance. So basically the thing is that, of course, if you're going to apply that major onto your job, which I consider now a career, there's just so much happening because it's not only during those times, of course, there was no euro. Okay, it was mostly Deutschmark, French franc, Italian lira, and of course sterling. Why sterling? Because of course UK is very dependent on importing from major countries, and then they re-export to the rest of Europe. Then shortly after we got, I think it was in 1998, we got the euro. And then, of course, a combination of those 27 countries that combined, which was like a mixture of Germany, France, UK, and so forth. Yeah.
So you have been in this industry almost 30 years.
Yeah, more than 30 years.
More than 30 years.
Experienced a lot of market volatility, news, presidents from different continents, from UK to Germany, interest rate from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. It's been exciting. One thing I got to say, Kazol, is that basically, you know, in this industry, you go to work every day. There's different things happening. It's unlike, let's say, if you're in insurance or real estate. I'm not dissing them, but I'm just saying basic things that every day is a learning experience. Even after 3 decades, you're still learning something new. Lately, it's like, let's say, the geopolitical problems that are happening with the US and Europe. Then the tensions, the tariff wars. I love wine. I love European food. So basically, what happens in the US, being an American, when we're going to start buying these type of merchandise, they're going to start increasing 200% tariffs. Wow. So meaning my wine and my cheese or my steaks or whatever it is going to be 200% more expensive. Does it make sense? I mean, come on. These two countries are fighting. These two continents are fighting like anything. It creates volatility in the market, but for the normal small to medium enterprise type of people, I think it's going to be really tough. Hence, one should diversify, and diversify we could probably talk about a little bit later on, but it's exciting times, trust me.
Oh, Kima, you're talking a lot of things that it seems like a lot of trouble going to happen,
Yes.
especially about the tariff.
Yes.
But what about our industry? Is
No.
it the opportunity for us, or it's going to be trouble for us also?
Now, let me briefly tell you about during the time of COVID. A lot of people were struggling, businesses were closing, people were forced to work from home. They couldn't even go out if they wanted to go out, like let's say, for example, Hong Kong. If you wanted to go to the restaurant, there's a 6 p.m. curfew. Not curfew that the police will force you to go home, whatever. Anyway, point being is that a lot of people are doing their businesses from home. Now, if you're running let's say a hotel or F&B, you can't run it from the home. You know, people got to come visit your restaurant, they got to stay at your hotel and all that. So people started to diversify, becoming day traders. They found gold to be an exciting, interesting asset class because during COVID, it was Donald Trump 1.0. During that time, of course, he was also having problems with the various countries. You see, because what it is, his predecessors have always insisted that we should help various different countries and all that. And then came all these manufacturers from cars to electronics to whatever being exported to China to produce. And then from production, finished products being exported to various countries and all that. Of course, because then cost becomes lower. But in a situation like this, America suffers because then their debt to these countries rise and rise and rise. It affects the US dollar. It affects the European currencies too. But most importantly, also it affects gold markets.
Sure អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមុននេះខ្ញុំបានជជែកជាមួយនឹង Kima ជាច្រើនជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំចង់ចែករំលែកជាមួយអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបន្តិចនៅអ្វីដែលគាត់បាននិយាយគឺពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងព្រឹត្តិការណ៍នានាដែលកើតឡើងជាពិសេសបទពិសោធន៍របស់គាត់ដែលគាត់បានឆ្លងកាត់នៅក្នុងជំនាញនិងវិជ្ជាជីវៈរបស់គាត់បានឆ្លងកាត់នៅរឿងជាច្រើនហើយមុននេះខ្ញុំក៏បានសួរគាត់អំពីតើនៅពេលដែលរឿងទាំងអស់នេះកើតឡើងដែលជាចំណុចគេហៅថា challenge បន្តិចប្រឈមសម្រាប់មនុស្សគ្រប់គ្នាប៉ុន្តែនៅក្នុងវិស័យ financial របស់ពួកយើងវាគឺជាឱកាសដែរឬអត់អញ្ចឹង Kima គាត់បានលើកឡើងពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងរឿងមួយចំនួនដែលកើតឡើងជាពិសេសនៅក្នុងកំឡុងពេល COVID ដែលមនុស្សមិនអាចចេញទៅណាបានហើយពួកគេក៏បានក្លាយទៅជា day trader បាទជាអ្នកជួញដូរប្រចាំថ្ងៃអញ្ចឹងមុននេះ Kima ក៏បាននិយាយអំពីឱកាសល្អនៅក្នុងការវិនិយោគទៅលើតម្លៃមាសក៏ដូចជាការកាត់ឡើងនៅក្នុង tariff ពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកហើយខ្ញុំនឹងសួរទៅកាន់គាត់ជូនអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាថាតើហេតុផលអីបាទកត្តាអ្វីដែលនឹងជះឥទ្ធិពលទៅដល់តម្លៃមាសដែលធ្វើឲ្យមានការប្រែប្រួលសំណួរនេះខ្ញុំទទួលបានជាច្រើននៅក្នុងការ live session របស់ខ្ញុំប្រចាំថ្ងៃដូច្នេះអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាយើងទៅស្ដាប់មើលថាតើ Kima ដែលជាអ្នកជំនាញនៅក្នុងវិស័យនេះជាង30ឆ្នាំទៅហើយគាត់មានទស្សនៈរបៀបម៉េចគាត់មានគេហៅថា tool និង tip របៀបម៉េចដែរមកកាន់ពួកយើង Kima So
Yes.
at the moment you're talking about people become a day trader and then you mentioned about gold trading is the
Yes.
most popular one.
Yes.
Sure, everybody know about gold.
Yes.
So do you can you share with us what affects the gold price? What caused the gold price fluctuation?
So we're going to talk about, let's say, a repeat of what happened during COVID. Why? Because during COVID, pre-COVID, markets were very stagnant, very stable. All of a sudden during COVID and post-COVID, it just flew. Now, if you notice, at that time, it broke 1,000. It took quite a long time to get to 2,000, right? But it was a challenge. Finally, it broke that. We call it psychological level. So from 2000, it broke. Then it went at 3000.
Right now it's 3,000
And
something.
it's 3000 plus.
Yes.
Okay. So if your question to me would be what creates this volatility is the amount of people investing into the market as day traders. Because you see, let's say if you go to a supermarket, you want to get a bunch of eggs. There's going to be only maybe 100 eggs right there. But if there are 50 people buying 2 boxes, they'll all finish the supply. What happens to the 51st person? Meaning, to simplify it, basically what happens is that it will be a supply and demand. When supply and demand comes in, volatility increases, hence the price tends to strengthen even more.
Yes.
Look at the US dollar, look at the US Dow Jones, look at the stock markets. They just keep on strengthening like anything. Why? Because basically there's always supply and demand in the market. Stocks, basically what it is individual companies. So it could be, let's say, for example, let's simplify. Let's talk about the US markets. We got Tesla. If you notice lately, what happened was that last week, people were so upset with what's happening with Elon Musk. They were damaging his cars from US to Europe to maybe even, I don't know, Cambodia. I hope not. But anyway, well, you don't damage the car. You know, I mean, it's basically, it's a car.
Yes.
If you want to damage, you go to America and damage him in Washington, D.C. Basically, what is important, one has to understand is that situations like this, when markets are going to drop like crazy, these are buying opportunities. Don't listen what your friends do and whatever. Do your due diligence, charting, ask your broker, communicate, understand the market, and therefore from there on after, it's an opportunity to buy. I would say, yeah. So similarly in gold markets, basically that's the reason why we've seen 3,000 to be holding quite well. It's been strengthening every time it dips. Even it drops below 3,000, there are buying opportunities right there. So that's just proven right there. It's very, very bullish.
You're talking about the opportunity when the gold price is dropped to
Yes.
the dip.
Yeah.
But last week, it dropped to 3,000 per ounce, while the price or high is
Right.
3,055, right?
Okay, so if you've noticed, we're very data dependent besides charting. So because when we're data dependent, what happens is that in a situation like there's an economic news that comes out, or let's say Ukraine is having peace talks with Russia, that will be good news. And if it's good news, then gold has to take a little bit of a retracement. It's overboard. But there's not enough news to make it drop that much. It's like you're swimming. You have that energy. Why would you want to pause? So fund managers and big institutions have a whole pot of money that they're investing in. If you're a fund manager and one of these big bank investment houses, and you have that much money, and you see market wants to strengthen even more, I believe trend is your friend. So you got to go with the flow of the trend. Therefore, you buy. And hence, every dip, whether it was a big drop, whatever, these were buying opportunities to get in. That's it.
So,
Yes.
yeah, please continue.
And of course, you got to have technical analysis to back it up. What I mean by that is resistances, supports. Why these are important? Because basically they calculate for you when is a good entry to enter the market, when is a good entry to exit the market, because you can buy at lows, you can buy a sell at highs, meaning you can sell the market, as we call it, sell short, or buy a sell position, whatever term you want to use, meaning sell at the top, buy at the lows. This phenomenon and this strategy does work. It has worked. Of course, technicals plus the news data fundamentals equals better precision making. So your probability, to summarize, would be more greater of a return on investment opposed to just getting in and out, not even understanding what's going on. Calculation is very important. So understanding the fundamentals, data, and also understanding the technical charts, you put them together, it's like a mathematical formula, and it should equal your result.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the moment, you mentioned a lot about the economic uncertainty,
Yeah.
about the supply and demand in gold, geopolitical
Yeah.
that move the gold price
Yeah.
up to the higher. And then,
Yes.
what's your opinion about the U.S. interest rate?
Now, basically, if you've noticed, the US is the last country that is cutting rates. Why? Well, you see, what it is that they're looking at, not other countries, they're looking at the domestic demand. Now, we got a population of about 350 million people in the US. We've got 50 states. Whenever we get the economic data, it normally comes out from New York. You would ask, why does it only have to only come out of New York? Because New York is like the main city of the financial hub where Wall Street, NASDAQ, all of them operate from there. So any data driven, whether it's inflationary from CPI, which is consumer price confidence, to PPI, which is producer price confidence, to non-farm payroll, my favorite figure because it's unemployment, and so on and so forth. These type of data trigger market volatility. Then you got to decide, is it worth or worth not to cut rates at this moment? Yes, Canada has been cutting. Switzerland has been cutting. Bank of England has been cutting. Australia has been cutting. And European Central Bank, we call it ECB, has been cutting. But they have their fair share of problems that they need to desperately cut. Whereas in the US, they feel people are, yes, complaining. They're saying that it's too expensive. You fill up gasoline for your car in the US, it's expensive. Whatever. Anything from daily necessities to whatever it may be, it is super inflationary expensive. But very important is mortgages. So let's say you bought a property and rates are going up. You're fixed to maybe a 30-year prime or whatever, or maybe an interest rate fluctuated mortgage. There are people complaining, but then again, we got 350 million people. Maybe only the 50 million are complaining, the 300 are accepting. Because if there were more than 300 people complaining and 50 not complaining, interest rates should come down, right? So if you look at it, the reason why it's not coming down so aggressive is because they're accepting the fact that interest rates will remain this level. They will cut, yes, eventually, but when is the big question mark.
To me, it seems like it's not just not a little bit clear about how the interest rate cut or rise or we high, and then what affect the gold price. What caused the gold price fluctuate because of the interest rate?
That's
policy?
a very good question. So thank you. Now, interest rates normally are determined based on economic data, economy. If the economy is not doing well, you have to cut rates to stimulate demand, stimulate spending. Look at China. China is also one country that is having its fair share of problems. So what they're doing, they're adding stimulus to the economy. So people will start spending. When they travel, they'll spend. They'll spend domestically and internationally. So likewise with the US. To have the economy stimulate and do well and strengthen and grow and avoid recession. Because recession, I heard this word and this terminology since November, December. It's already April almost next week. It's not really recession, you know. You can see from the proven records that coming out from the news and all that. But to summarize, like I said, it's very important to understand the economic fundamentals, the data. Number one is unemployment. Secondly is the inflation figures. If they're okay to the point that it's accepted, though our president Donald Trump keeps on forcing for rates to be cut because he wants to go full force. He's like racing a Ferrari, whereas the rest of US is racing only a Toyota Prius. So he wants that fast happening within the period of the promise that he's delivered to his voters. Okay, remember something. When he got voted to become a president, he promised certain things that he will do. He's trying to deliver as much as possible. So far, it is doing well. That's the reason why we saw the US dollar so strong. Yes, it has weakened recently. And the reason why it's weakened recently against European currencies is because, like I said, the interest rate differential, meaning the interest rates in the US are still high, but the interest rates in Europe, Australia and these other countries are going down. So when the interest rates normally go down, people tend to spend, hence the currency goes up. You're earning more on your, well, actually, you're paying less on your loans. A lot of companies depend on loans, big corporations. Why? Because let's say I want to build a land or 5 buildings. I need the loan in order to proceed with building those 5 properties. Hence, loan is a factor, interest rates is a factor. So if I'm going to get a low interest rate environment, that will stimulate the currency and it will strengthen. Hence, European currency is strong lately against the US dollar. Now, how long will this last? We can maybe talk about it later. Yeah.
So interest rate, the US interest rate is still 4.5%.
Yes.
Currently.
Yeah.
So it's still high.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
I agree. It doesn't make sense.
So is it going to have a demand for the US dollar? Because when you have much dollar,
Yeah.
and then you go to the saving, and then you earn
Yeah.
the interest.
Yeah.
Risk free,
Now,
right?
you see, during COVID time and recently, they were printing a lot of money. When they print a lot of US dollars, it's being supplied everywhere. Cambodia is US dollar. I think Vietnam is also sort of US dollar. You go to the Philippines, if you're going to give them Filipino pesos against US dollar, of course they want US dollar. Mexico, Central America, South America, you go through, I don't know, there may be 3/4 of the world who are very dependent on US dollar. All your trading, whether it's import, export, to buying insurance policies from Cambodia to Vietnam to Bangkok to whatever, it's all denominated in US dollar. So yes, US dollar will come back for sure. When? Again, it depends.
Depend.
Now, going back to why the US dollar is weak is because the economic data coming out recently from UK and Germany has proven that it is better and it's improving. And that's the reason why it's helped. Yes, tariffs will hit them really badly, but it's like a balancing a book. You got receivables and payables, so there's the books are being balanced a little bit to the point that currencies in Europe, especially Australia too, are very strong for the moment. How long this will survive, it all depends on a tug of war with the economy of the US versus Europe. So if US data comes out stronger and it causes more inflation, US will decide to cut rates, you watch US dollar will go up and European currencies will come down.
So when the US cut rate, what about the gold price?
So it all depends. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Like the non-farm payroll, for example, which is one of my favorite figures. If you've noticed, why I would mention non-farm payroll is just one of my favorites. And it's an opportunity that a lot of my clients love it. They make money on it. It's always the first Friday of every month. It's very interest rate dependent. If you notice sometimes, let's say, okay, so we're going in March. Let's say beginning of March, when the figure came out, it did not really prove much of a knee-jerk reaction. Meaning, sometimes if you notice a figure in that particular month is good, but then the gold doesn't really perform, it goes the other way. It's because they're looking at the whole quarter, meaning January, February, March. But sometimes they don't do that. They just look at that particular month. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
So if we're going in April, which is another figure, FOMC, the unemployment figure,
yeah.
they may look at January, February, March to determine the probability of these 3 months and take a mathematical formula to decide whether it's going to be inflationary or not. If it's too inflationary, I'm sure US will have no choice but to cut rates.
Okay, we're talking a lot about the fundamental
Yeah.
something, the factors
Yeah.
that go into affect the gold price,
Yeah.
cause it fluctuation. So I want you to share your chart price.
Yes.
Because most of our audience, they love to trade gold. And then
Yes.
they want to know more about the technical chart.
Yes,
Can
yes.
you show us your chart price and then your outlook for the
Sure.
gold price?
Now, if you don't mind, over here, I got a 15-minute chart. So we have
Operator
these...
Song, sorry, បង operator សូមដាក់ទៅ chart price បាទអរគុណ
So right now it's at 3030. You can see over here. Okay. Now I put this magenta color. I love this color.
Yep.
Pink, purple, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Why I put this level here? We call it, if you want to call it a horizontal line, magic line, resistance, whatever. How many times can you see on the chart the orange keeps on hitting the magenta? That shows that basically this resistance is going to be tough to break for the time being. Now, this is on a 15-minute. If you look at, let's say, even daily, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so it shows a little bit of a, of course, we don't have to look at that far. Let's say we look at the 30-minute, okay? Now, you look at a 30-minute, how beautiful is it? So whether it's a 15-minute or 30-minute, why I like to use at these different intervals is because basically the thing is that it's best to get 5-6 opinions from the charts, and the more the opinion shows that this one is very, very, very tough to break, I should sell it, right? I mean, common sense. Now, if I sell it, where do I go for it? It will go to the next level, which is here, 3026, 3025 areas. Now, if it breaks, I would let it ride all the way. As you can see this chart, see the orange keeps on going so many days. Look at it. How exciting is that? Okay, we go back to the 15 minutes, which I love to look at because basically a lot of our clients, they prefer to forecast on what's happening with 15 to 30 minute based on either their hedging with different asset classes, like let's say stocks and all that. Remember something, a lot of investors, they like to mix their investments from real estate to stocks to gold. Gold is super important. I want to share something with you. If you've noticed also, one of the reasons why I like gold is because if you go to any jewelry store, the majority of the display is all gold.
Gold, yes.
If you want diamond or watches or anything, you got to go all the way inside the store. Whereas if you just look at the window of the jewelry store anywhere in the world, whether it's Cambodia to Hong Kong to China or wherever, all displays of gold. What is displayed in the gold is maybe a god figure, or maybe the monkey or the pig, or you know, anything like that. But then let's talk about jewelry. Let's say gold bracelets, gold necklace, gold anything, gold even ring. You know, it's all gold display all over there. They should display diamonds or pearl, jade, but they don't. Why do they display gold? Because gold is normally a more popular item, jewelry that people love to buy. Now, for Chinese and Indians, they love to buy gold because Indian New Year, Chinese New Year, and Kosol, you definitely agree with me, is that any, even Cambodian, 100 days of the birth of the baby, they don't give cash, they give gold. Whether it's a 1 ounce, any size, doesn't matter. It's more easier. So yes, that's why it causes a lot of volatility. Hence, the easiest way to trade this market would be on these type of 3 magenta colored levels. We call it the higher level, 3030 is the resistance, and the bottom level is 3014. Okay. Yes, that's a good, like almost $15 up and down range is enough. You don't need more than that, because you can see from the chart, it shows how beautiful this movement is. Look at that. I mean, how many times can you trade in that 30-minute going up and down, up and down? Goes there, sell. Goes there, buy. Goes there, buy. Goes there, sell. I mean, within this range, how many times can you make it? You don't have to go there. You don't have to go up there. It's just within this range, and that's good enough.
That's great. That's great. So
I'm just saying, sorry, Kasol, I'm just saying that charts play a very important role. Why? Because basically, of course, this calculates more in depth about what's happening with the fundamentals and other technical movements of how much volume is being brought into the market and so on and so forth. Another thing I want to point out to you also is the relative strength of the particular asset class, which in this case is gold. So you can see it's very safe and moderate in this blue color. And that shows moderate strength. So you're safer to trade within this narrow range, you would consider, but it's good money to be made. If you can do like, let's say 7 or 8 trades out of 10.
អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាគីម៉ានៅលើឆាតរបស់គាត់គឺបានបង្ហាញអំពីបច្ចេកទេសតម្លៃ technical មួយចំនួនដូច្នេះបើសិនជាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាចង់មានការណាត់ជួបមានការស្វែងយល់អំពីបច្ចេកទេសនៃការជួញដូររបស់គីម៉ាក៏ដូចជាជួបជាមួយនឹងខ្ញុំអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នានៅថ្ងៃទី29បាទឬក៏ថ្ងៃស្អែកនេះ28 29អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាក៏អាចមានការណាត់ជួបគាត់ដែរបាទអញ្ចឹងគឺថាគាត់នឹង available នៅពេលថ្ងៃជាពិសេសអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍នៅក្នុងការណាត់ជួប Kima ដើម្បីឲ្យគាត់ជួយពន្យល់ក៏ដូចជាការធ្វើការចែករំលែកនៅចំណេះដឹងមួយចំនួនទៅកាន់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាពាក់ព័ន្ធទៅលើបច្ចេកទេសនៃការជួញដូរដោយប្រើ indicator ក៏ដូចជាយុទ្ធសាស្ត្ររបស់គាត់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នា complete register នៅក្នុង description របស់យើងបាទឬក៏ comment បាទនៅក្នុងការ live របស់យើងមកយើងនឹង connect ទៅកាន់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទជាពិសេស complete ចុះឈ្មោះនៅក្នុង description អូខេអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងក្រៅពីអ្វីដែល Kima បាន sharing មកពួកយើងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាក៏អាចលើកជាសំណួរដែរនៅក្នុងការ live នេះយើងនៅមានម៉ោងជាច្រើនដោយសារមិញហ្នឹងពួកខ្ញុំទាំងពីរនាក់ជជែកគ្នាសឹងតែ40នាទីទៅហើយអញ្ចឹងប្រមាណជា20នាទីទៀតយើងអាចទុកជា Q&A ជូនអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដើម្បីឲ្យអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានជាចម្ងល់អីអាចទម្លាក់ comment នៅក្នុងហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំនឹងបកប្រែជូន Kima so Kima we going to have a Q&A during this live and we leave our audience drop a comment if they want to know something about gold about trading especially they want to meet you they want you to share about the technical price everything
100%
yes
happy to do it
yeah complete ចុះឈ្មោះនៅក្នុង description របស់យើងអញ្ចឹង operator មាន comment សូមអាចជួយដាក់ comment ដើម្បីឲ្យខ្ញុំបានឃើញបាទទោះជា comment ពីមុនក៏ដោយបាទបើសិនជាបងប្អូនយើងនៅក្នុងការ live មួយនេះបាទកំពុងតែនៅបាទយើងឃើញថាមាន wow មានច្រើនបាទ good morning teacher hello មកG1 រស្មីបាទចាំមើលរាល់ថ្ងៃអត់ឃើញបាទដោយសារបញ្ហាបច្ចេកទេសបាទអញ្ចឹងបងប្អូនយើងនៅក្នុងការ live បើសិនជាមាន comment ជាសំណួរជាចម្ងល់ពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងតម្លៃនៅក្នុងទីផ្សារអាច drop ជា comment បានបាទអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំនឹងជជែកជាមួយនឹង Kima បន្តិចទៀតពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងបច្ចេកទេសមួយចំនួនបើសិនជាបងប្អូនអត់ទាន់មានជា comment ទេ so Kima we don't have any comment yet
okay can I just add something I just saw someone saying can you speak a little bit slowerly I'm really so sorry every country they have a way of speaking and probably I'm so used to in America if I speak slow in America they'll say something wrong with you you know or in Hong Kong you know everybody's so fast you know running around you're always in a rush so when you speak you can also speak in a rush I apologize that I spoke so fast I will from this moment speak slowly
yeah
I have to put the little bit of the pause button slowly
I will touch you slow
thank you
អាណាចាន់បាទគាត់សុំទោសដែរដោយសារនៅវប្បធម៌ក៏ដូចជាគេហៅថាទម្លាប់របស់ពួកគាត់នៅខាងអាមេរិកនោះក៏ដូចជានៅហុងកុងគឺបង operator ដូចជាអត់មានសំឡេងបាទ microphone បាទអត់មានសំឡេងបងអត់មានសំឡេងអូខេបាទដូចជាបាត់បាទមិននឹងអត់ឃើញសុំទោសបាទបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាដោយសារវប្បធម៌ពួកគាត់ដោយសារទម្លាប់ពួកគាត់គឺនិយាយលឿនបាទអញ្ចឹងគាត់នឹង remind ខ្លួនឯងដែរហើយខ្ញុំនឹងកេះគាត់ដែរថាបង Kima slow បាទអញ្ចឹងអូខេ Kima we don't see any comment yet but I want you to share about right now is gold price is 30 something already
you're wondering where's it going to go right
no
oh
just kidding because we all know gold is not cheap
no
gold is not cheap
no
but many people they mention oh it's expensive already and then they want to get an opinion from us whether I still can buy or I need a pause a bit or waiting
makes sense I'm gonna share something because I just printed something out today I had a update on my articles that I normally put on Facebook and even Hong Kong media and various medias globally. Now, in last week's gold article, I titled it Gold Price Outlook. Okay, if you don't mind, I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
So the ETFs, which is electronic traded funds, they're stocks. They're very important to look at for monitoring gold prices and all that. So the ETF flows. Central bank buying, remember, central bank buying, meaning we're talking about China to India to various countries. They're also buying because they feel scared that what's happening with this. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to speak slowly. They're afraid that with the amount of war escalating from Russia to Ukraine, to Iran, to Gaza. Donald Trump wants to open up a new city or a country in Gaza, call it Gaza, USA. I don't know, whatever. But I think it's smart because if they do develop Gaza, they will bring in the US companies, US construction companies, US, if they're going to build an MRT, they'll ask a US company to do it. And I would not ride in one of those because those US trains are very scary. If you ride on those trains, they go woo, woo, woo like that, you know? Anyway, and that causes the gold price targets. We did take a look at the gold ETF flows. Now, this is back in focus following, if you've realized, the uptick in ETF flows also since yesterday. Now, I want to add something. Like I said, ETFs are very important because they also determine the amount of volatility in the markets and all that. The more volume, the more volatility increases, and very often, not always, very often, it strengthens. Now, they added 23 tons, which is huge, of gold in a single trade session, marking the largest one-day increase since COVID, which is 2022. Now, during the first quarter of 2025, which is January till March, gold-backed ETFs, very important, these electronic traded funds, have gained around 155 tons overall, pushing, okay, the total holding to this higher level since September 2023. Now, if you look at the charts, or if you remember, forget about looking at the chart, just remember, in October of 2023, gold was 1811. It was struggling to break 2000. From that moment, it's just gone one way up.
Wow.
Of course, there's a lot of news, but this is also important stuff. And of course, the uncertainty regarding U.S., Donald Trump, he opens his mouth, then I love to trade. If he doesn't open his mouth, I don't like to trade because that gives me even more energy to buy and or sell. I would prefer to suggest to a lot of investors from this moment onwards to every drop we see, whether small or big,
just buy.
Buy. Small volumes, but buy. Small volumes and buy. If you don't mind, what you could do, buy very small, drops, buy very small, drops, buy very small. But then your question would be, Kusol, Sam, when do I exit? No need to exit, just let it ride. Because if you see the chart, it just strengthened and strengthened and strengthened. Every time it drops, just keep on buying. But of course, there should be a certain floor, right? The floor, I would say, so long as 2,800 holds very well support, there's no plateau, meaning there's no top side. It can go even more.
Okay.
And seriously, think about it. It's simple mathematics. 1,000 to 2,000 was super difficult because it's double. 2,000 to 3,000 becomes simpler because it's 2/3. 3 to 4 is 3/4.
Wow.
Isn't it more easier to go up there than when it was at 1,000, 2,000? Same with U.S. stock market. Same with if you're going to KFC, one of my favorites, to buy the burgers, whatever. If you notice how much it was, let's say 3 years ago, to what it is today, it's more expensive because it's just easier to increase from that fraction or percentage of what it was before. So let's say a burger was $3. It's easier for it to go to 4 instead of from $1 to 2, right? Because if it's $1 and it becomes $2, that's double. But if they increased KFC from $3 to $3.50 or $4. You wouldn't even think, it's not small, small difference.
Sure.
It's only 3/4.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that.
Anyway, you mentioned that every drop you need to buy any volume, small volume. It
Yeah.
depends on
Yeah.
your investment. And then no need to think about the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Whenever still strength, and then you let it run.
Yeah.
So what about your opinion? Because every expert in this industry,
Correct.
even though me, I have my
Correct.
view on gold, it's
Yeah.
going to reach 3,300
Yep.
soon. So
Okay.
what about your opinion? How about your opinion of the gold price in the near futures?
Okay. So
What is going to hit?
Okay, so you can all see this chart, right? Mm-hmm. If you can see, I put over here in 18th December 2024, it was at 2651, which is a high, right?
Yes.
I hope everybody can see that. Now, since then, it's gone up almost $500. Okay, but look at that line going up. It's so steady. That's what I mean. Just buy. Yes, it cannot maybe continue to buy. It has to have big drops. These are your buying opportunity. But very, very important. If you look at this chart, you got the green, which is a 30 moving average. 30 moving average on a daily chart is every 30 days of a calculation.
Sure.
Then we go here, which is a Bollinger Band. These two technical, you don't need to understand. But so long as it's above these lines, it's buy. You already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 already confirmed against one big guy there.
Wow.
So very simple mathematics. 5 against 1, the ratio. Of course you're going to buy. If the ratio is 5 against 1 to sell, I would sell it.
I see.
Right? So long as right now, what did I tell you earlier? I said around this level, around 2.8 areas. So long as it doesn't break this 2.8 area, I'm a buyer.
Buy, but which go to which price?
Go to which price?
Let's say
We could see 3,100 quite easily,
Ah,
especially
okay.
with the news. There's more bad news than good news.
yes.
And like I said, trend is your friend, so don't go against it. But every dip we see on a daily basis or weekly basis is an opportunity to get in. Put in your tight stop losses, but if you like, let the profit ride. If you don't want to let the profit ride, I would say at least maximize the profit, minimize the risk. How to minimize the risk is minimize a limit of your stop loss and maximize your profits. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many points or how many dollars you want to earn your profit or loss. That's up
Yes.
to you, but very simple. Limit. So if you will, let's say put $10 on a stop loss, put $30 at least on a trading profit. So you do the math, you do the calculation. If you want to make it 10 to 10, 5 to 5, 3 to 3, whatever it is, that's entirely up to you. You can decide for yourself.
Operator សូម comment មួយដែលសាមាន comment ឲ្យ Kima គាត់ជួយចែករំលែក We have one comment from
Yeah.
our audience. Yeah, please put the comment. Yes. Okay. Yes, yeah. គាត់មានសំណួរថាសូមអាន comment របស់ Anachan បាទគាត់ថា I have you can see
Yeah.
the comment from Anachan. I have a question. What do you think about the tariff war, economic war of the US against the bunch of a country? បងសូមកុំមូបាទសូមបង operator សូមដាក់ប៉ុណ្្នឹងសិនដោយសារខ្ញុំភ្នែកអត់សូវល្អទេសូមកុំមូអរគុណច្រើនប៉ុណ្្នឹងបានហើយកុំមូបាទពាក់ព័ន្ធ namely China, Canada, China is there any hidden reason the US is bidding for this war and how the investor interpret such a hot situation?
Okay, so that's a good question.
មួយទៀត
I'm going to speak slowly. So I got it. It's okay. So what it is that the U.S. doesn't want to fight with people. They want to make peace. But the only way to eliminate the money, so let's say, for example, I owe you money, Kuso.
Yes.
And I owe you, let's say, $3 trillion. Like right now, the U.S. owes the whole world. money. They owe China. They owe you look at the debt to ratio.
Yes.
GDP. It's insane. So how to reduce that debt
Okay.
is to impose tariffs. Impose tariffs on popular items, like let's say importing BMWs, importing Rolls Royces, whatever, importing, because a lot of this is manufactured outside the US.
Yes.
Why not bring in manufacturing in the US so we can finally have some peace and money, income earned from the US? I'll give you an example. If you go to the many of the shopping malls in US, 80% is all made in China, from furniture, iPhones, whatever, MacBooks, anything. It's insane. Why not manufacture it in America? Because it's too expensive. Labor costs are too expensive. That means your iPhone from $1,500 US becomes $3,000. Will you buy $3,000? No. So therefore, Trump is trying to fight a way to solve this situation. That's what we call the tariff wars. Now, regarding Canada, they love to play with Canada. You know, reason being is because this guy, Donald Trump is fighting against Mike Carney. Mike Carney is the Prime Minister of Canada.
Canada, yeah.
His previous job was Bank of England. Now, wait a minute. You're Bank of England, and then all of a sudden, you now are Canada's PM? And then what you want to do, because you've got a finance background, you want to get the financial backup of like ex-Goldman, Goldman Sachs, and all these big multinational US banks to come and join your force. So like now you have your army of economic advisors to fight against the world and make your country more better. That's also what Donald Trump wants to do. That's why he's hired and recruited all these people, especially like right now. If you might have heard in the news, J.D. Vance, which is the Vice President of America, he's going with his wife. His wife is a little bit easier to sweet talk and all that. They're going to Greenland. Now they're going to take their checkbook. Say, okay, I'll write you a check. Now this country is mine. Come on, it's not going to be that easy. But these are the things that cause we call it economic war, okay? Now, the US against a bunch of countries, namely China, Canada, there's no hidden reason. The reason is because Donald Trump wants to make America great again. They want to shave off their debt. They want to make it a country that was, I don't know, about 40, 50 years ago, a manufacturing hub, businesses booming, things happening, not dependent on buying from China to Europe to whatever. We got amazing wine in California, but it's nothing compared to the French wine or Italian wine. We got American food, but that makes you fat. Instead, what we should do, we should go for Italian food or French food, or Chinese food, my favorite. So this is basically what is happening right now globally, that US doesn't want to fight with everybody, but he has no choice but to fight with everybody. And this causes a lot of volatility in the market, as you can see from the charts. Hence, this will still continue. So again, to answer your question, where's the ceiling? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. There's no plateau. But the bottom side, I think there's a good chance it will drop. I don't know when, but if it drops, these are opportunities to buy again, as shown from the charts. And charts don't lie.
Chat don't lie.
Yeah.
That's one comment from
Yeah.
FX News. I don't know whether she or he, but he mentioned he want you to share about a good technique because it seems like involved in forex almost 1 year, but he's still losing. Whenever they go to a trade, and then it's always lose.
Okay. Now, can I suggest something? So you're based in Cambodia, I guess? Okay. Everything's in US dollars over here. They even drive on the left-hand side, which is like the way it is in the US. But that's not the point. Point is, do you need to send money abroad, like either for your business or your family? Meaning what I'm trying to say, do you have, let's say, children or family members in Europe or the US. One of the reasons I'm asking for this is because if you do, let's say, for example, you have a son studying in London.
Yes.
School fees are so crazy expensive, but you are using US dollars to change to UK currency in order to pay for the tuition fees, dormitory, monthly expenses, and all that. So don't you think with the amount of currency exchanges that increases volatility and also strengthens that currency? It definitely does, right? So in a situation like this, you need to what we call hedge. Hedge is very important. So I would suggest probably don't go in and out so much. Go for opportunities like the way it is in gold. Look for economic data. What economic data I'm talking about is same as in the US. So let's talk about sterling, for example. UK GDP, UK PPI, UK CPI. These will make the currency of sterling fluctuate a lot. Now, maybe you don't want to deal with sterling. You want to deal with Japanese yen. Japan is a phenomenal economy. Makes it cheaper for tourists to come in. If you remember once upon a time, like what I was explaining in the very beginning, I made tons of money in the market for my clients during 1995 when the yen just went up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Look at it now. It's going down and down and down and down and down and down. You know, there are reasons for all of this. But to summarize, I would say go for data and you should be fine. Okay. Most important is your net profit, not the gross profit. You see, if I felt there were no opportunities in the Forex, stocks, and gold markets, I wouldn't be in this situation, in this business for so long. And I still want to be here for another 10, 15 years. Why? Because every day is a beautiful day. Yes, Cambodia's weather is amazing, but I don't live in Cambodia. You know, I live in Hong Kong where it's raining sometimes, where it's typhoon, where it's not flooding, but you still got to go to work, but that doesn't matter. When there's market news that comes out and there's interesting stuff on a daily basis, that gives me energy. That's more caffeine than I need in a day.
អូខេបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាដោយសារពេលវេលារបស់យើងគឺកាន់រំកិលគៀកមកហើយម៉ោងរបស់យើងគឺអស់ទៅហើយអញ្ចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបើសិនជាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាចង់ស្វែងយល់អំពីបច្ចេកទេសដែលលោក Sam Kima ដែលគាត់បានចែករំលែកនៅក្នុងការ live ពិសេសរបស់ខ្ញុំនេះគឺអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចចុះឈ្មោះនៅក្នុង description នៅក្នុងការ live មួយនេះទាំង Facebook ទាំង YouTube អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចណាត់ជួបគាត់បាទទាំងថ្ងៃស្អែកនិងថ្ងៃខាងស្អែកបាទគឺ28 29នេះអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចជួបគាត់ជាមួយនឹងខ្ញុំបានផងដែរហើយកុំភ្លេចបើសិនជាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមិនទាន់យល់ច្បាស់នៅក្នុងការ live ព្រឹកនេះនៅល្ងាចនេះផងដែរលោក Sam Kima ក៏នៅមានការ live ពិសេសមួយទៀតជាមួយនឹង team របស់យើងគឺលោក Chia Chai Heng ដែលគាត់នឹងធ្វើការ live ជាមួយនឹង Kima នៅម៉ោង 4 និង 5 ល្ងាច Kima even they miss this opportunity, they still have a question, but we run out of time.
Please.
So we believe that this afternoon, 4 to 5, are you going to live with
Yes.
Chai Heng?
Please do ask any questions you have. Don't be shy.
Yes.
Because you can write it.
Yep.
So at least that doesn't show any shyness.
Yes.
Prepare whatever questions you have. Happy to entertain it. I could also probably learn from you guys. Whatever it may be, it's a sharing, interesting timing. And like I said, every day is an opportunity. Opportunity of something new, something insane, something crazy happening.
Yes.
But it's exciting. And that is what gives me energy of feeling the pulse of the market.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Kima.
much.
And
Thank
then
you.
we would like to say goodbye to all of you. បាទជំរាបលាអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាតែត្រឹមប៉ុណ្នេះបាទសូមជម្រាបលា